such a beautiful day at the range today, and I am so glad to be back. It's been a minute, y'all, and I am super psyched. We got us two plingers. One not so much of a cost-effective plinger, but we got a plinger. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about the Smith & Wesson 5.7 as well as the Smith & Wesson 22 Magnum. Now, if you've seen both of these pistols side by side, they are they look identical. They look, uh, is this clear or white? That just came out clear. They look identical. You probably can just tell by very minimal characteristics on one from the other. But if you're holding them side by side, they are pretty much the same thing. Uh, I'm just gonna do this one too right quick. All right, so uh, how do you feel about the 5.7? Now, me, I like the 5.7. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I can carry, or if they had something small enough for me to carry that 5.7 round, I would definitely will, because I like it. I think I'm more, I like the way it looks. Now, they are very uh, powerful rounds. They're very fast rounds, and tiny, they but mighty. So like I said, if I had the ability, or if I had a pistol that I can carry this round out of that I trusted, I definitely would choose this to carry. Some people are like, well, yo, that's a little bit of overkill. All right, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. But I like it. Just look at it. It looks like a shrunken, tiny 223-5.56. Now, if you are going back to when I was talking about the actual plinging, the poor man's plinger or whatever, it could be that scenario. These are very, very expensive. They're not as expensive as they used to be. These 5.7s definitely a easy on the pocket, but when you have the 22 Magnum, it's a lot more cost effective. For me, the recoil is probably just as equal as the 5.7, and you can shoot a hell of a lot more of these without breaking that pocket. Going back to the actual pistol, too. Going back to the actual firearms, I didn't tell you exactly what it was that we were getting ready to talk about. We are talking about the Smith & Wesson 5.7 as well as the Smith & Wesson 22 Magnum. 22 Magnum, this one here, it's a very nice on the pistol on the full size scale. As you can see, we do have a green fluorescent front sight. It is optic ready with your blacked out rear sights. We also have an accessory rail underneath. Not too big of a trigger guard, but for a summer plinger, I don't see how somebody with gloves will be able to actually comfortably put their finger in that trigger guard and engage the actual trigger. We do have a flat face safety on that trigger as well with that Smith & Wesson just perfectly aggressive grip on here. This is the, I would say, more of like the performance center style trigger. This is going to perform a lot better than what your standard Smith & Wesson. The C curvage triggers, I am not a fan of those, not even 1%. But as far as this trigger goes, this trigger does perform quite well. This is the Smith & Wesson 22 Magnum, 22 Magnum chambered in 22 Magnum. Moving right along, we have the Smith & Wesson 5.7. Now looking at it, it is pretty much the exact same pistol, just with a little bit of differences in them. We do not have a fluorescent front sight. We do have a white dot front sight. We do have ports in the slide. We do have a blacked out rear sight as well as optic ready as well. We also have your accessory rail underneath with that same size trigger guard with the same type of trigger. Looking at the grips look pretty much exactly the same, except this one does have a threaded barrel, as you can see. Let's do a quick little side-by-side. Let's go under here really quick. Quick little side-by-side. Both of these pistols are clear and safe. Very minimal differences in lengths. If it is a difference, it's probably less than an inch. We're probably going like centimeters within the two. Lengthwise, same deal. I mean, lengthwise, as far as the grip goes, they're exactly the same length. The grip shape on both pistols are exactly the same. And yeah, they are pretty good shoots. One does have an external safety, thumb safety, one does not. But that is your preference when you actually make your purchase. So looking at them, the one on the top is your Smith & Wesson 5.7, and the one underneath is your Smith & Wesson 22 Magnum. All right, so I already told you what it is that we're doing. I didn't tell you where it is that we are, although I told you I am so excited to be outside again. We are in a safe and controlled environment. We are at the gun range, Immokalee Range and Gun Club to be exact. And this video is for educational purposes only. All right, so now that we know where we are, what we're doing, the only thing left now to do is what? Suit them up so we can send them down range. All right. Both of these pistols have a crazy capacity. I only put, I think, 16 and maybe 20 in the other. I have 16 5.7s and a little bit more on the 22 Magnum. But because we have a little bit more of the 22 Magnum, let's go in with that one first. All right, we are clear. All right, let's take us a quick little look. I want y'all to pay attention to the recoil. I'm going to tell you how I feel about the recoil when I'm shooting it, but see if there's actually a lot of recoil difference between the two. They held a crazy amount. I think it's almost like 20 or 20 plus rounds. So that's a lot of rounds for a 22 or a pistol in itself when you're plinging. And I just like the fact too, you don't have to keep reloading. Pistol is clear, magazine is empty. So this was the Smith & Wesson 22 Magnum. Almost zero recoil. Let's go in with the Smith & Wesson 5.7. Now this one also has a crazy amount of rounds. This holds 22. You can see that right there. I believe it only has 16 in here. Same deal. Very nice. Now watch the recoil. I think this is going to give me a little bit of fireballs, if I'm not mistaken. That recoil, pistol is clear, magazine is empty. I don't feel no difference. Did you see fire? So are we overpaying for the 5.7? Could we really be just doing it because? The amount of rounds slips my mind exactly when it comes to the 22 Magnum. But if each one of these slots indicates 5 rounds, that means that this can hold 30 rounds of 22 Magnum. That is a lot of rounds. So we're going back in with the 22 Magnum. That didn't feel good, but she's in there. All right. Playing with? Not this. Smith & Wesson M&P 22 Magnum. Yeah. All right, now it's going to hurt my heart. Now you see how freely I went ahead and I did that mag dump with the 22 Magnum. Ain't even hurt me not one bit. But now we going in with the 5.7. This going to hurt my feelings. Because that's going to cost me a whole lot more. All right, now that slide did drop nicer with the 5.7 than the 22 Magnum. I did have to press check to see or to make sure that there was a round in the chamber. But Pissless Clear magazine is empty. My feelings ain't that hurt, but yeah, that was a lot more. But what we're looking at is performance. What we're looking at is recoil. What we're looking at is it really. Hold on, y'all. It ain't hot, but it's hot. It's got a little bit of cool breeze going on, but it's getting hot. It's getting, that center in church hot. So we're finna sit right here, and I'm finna reload these magazines and not give up this good old shade we got going on here. Magazines load nicely. Now, it does give you a magazine loader for both of these pistols. If you get so far with the 5.7 as far as loading, it can become very tight. The 22 Magnum, on the other hand, your rounds start trying to jump each other, so it gets very annoying. You just have to make sure that when you are loading the magazines, you're actually making sure that the rounds are seated properly. I did tell you we were shooting the FN, and we had FN, and well, both of these are FN, and we got some CCI 22 Magnum. What was the last one that we shot? I believe it was the 5.7, so let's go in with the 22. Now, feeling. I know you saw me look at the pistol a little side eye just a moment ago when I actually loaded it and was holding it. It feels, listen. You hear that? Feels like it's a little shaky. Got a little bit of slide movement, but I don't see a lot of it. But that's okay. I ain't changing. No. It does feel weird. Did that come from next door? Maybe. Pissless Clear magazine is empty. That was the 22 Magnum Smith & Wesson. Smith & Wesson, Wesson. Smith and Wesson. Wesson 5.7. Red eye. See, this one feels a lot more sturdier. It feels beefier. No, I shouldn't say beefier because they both feel exactly the same in the hand. As far as sturdier with the shaking of the slide. Pissless Clear magazine is empty. Boy, I love them both. And I cannot tell the difference between the two. Now, if I had to just choose one, I'll definitely go with the 22 Magnum because I really can't feel a difference in the shoot, and because it's a lot cheaper to shoot with the 22 Magnum. Let's finish this up. 22 Magnum. I was able to get 27 rounds into the magazine without the loader. So I do have some extra space. So definitely a little sluggish. Don't act up now. Smith & Wesson M&P 22 Magnum, chambered in 22 Magnum. Ha! Up next, we got the M&P Smith & Wesson 5.7, chambered in 5.7. We have 22 rounds in this magazine, completely full. It's like the round hits the steel before you actually pull the trigger. That's how fast this shit is coming out. Yeah. Oh, that's one thing too. You have to make sure that you check your thread when hold that for me, please. You're shooting something with a thread protector on the front because it will get loose. No rounds left behind. We're gonna put these rounds in here. Ain't but 4 of them. Put these in here. Yeah. 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 Pistol is clear. Magazine is empty. All right. So, what did y'all think? Do you feel like the 5.7 round is just an overpriced 22 Magnum? I don't know. Do you feel like it could be an equivalent as far as the let me grab this pistol right quick. The equivalent for plinging. Do you feel like I would pling with the 5.7? I ain't worried about it. I'm gonna just pling with the 5.7. Hey, it is what it is. Don't count my pockets. Or do you feel like it's really the purpose? What do you feel like its purpose is as far as the 5.7 goes? In my opinion, I like the 5.7 because the way that it looks, the performance is great. If I can carry it, as I told you, I definitely will. But if I'm out here just playing, having fun, practicing, becoming familiar with your sights and just, master grip and all that stuff, this is definitely something that you can use as an excellent training tool to make that happen. Now, would you do the 5.7 in that manner? Judging the recoil of both of them, it really did not how can I say, I'm not going to say outperform because the performance was great on both pistols. As far as the actual recoil for both of them, they did pretty much exactly the same. So with that being said, what did y'all think? What did y'all see? How did y'all feel? Let me know. You drop it in the comments. You tell me how you feel. But as far as me, if I had to choose one or the other, I would definitely choose the 22 because for me, it's just a little bit more cost friendly, and I will definitely enjoy it more at the range. Do you feel the way that I feel? I don't know. Let me know. So with that being said, Yoke Gang, thank you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel just by watching this video. And y'all know I love me a good pistol and I love me when things work, but I love y'all for life most importantly. Muchos besitos.